Welcome to Just Music Podcast. This is a podcast that invites artists, music lovers, and fans of entertainment to engage in virtual and in-person discussions about the art of music and the many topics surrounding it. I'm your host, Jailan Williams.
And I'm your other host, Marco and Campo.
Awesome, man. I'm so glad that we can finally share the first episode with our audience. I'm just so excited for this.
Me too. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be really, really exciting. I just can't wait. So let's first start with introductions. You want to go first?
Sure. So my name is Marco, and I am a senior at College of Charleston, and I'm a business major, but I'm actually an arts management minor. And I'm really interested in music. I've been DJing for a couple of years, and that's how I've kind of just got my passion for music. What about you, Jailan?
Man, so like I said, my name is Jailan Williams. You and I pretty much go back like what? Orientation?
Yeah, orientation.
Freshman year. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we have our relationship, and it's really cool, really awesome. And especially that, we both connected through music. My major is arts management with a concentration in the music industry and a minor in music. I'm a musician. I've been playing instruments since I was 12 years old. I started out on the trombone, doing band, and then I started teaching myself bass in high school. And when I got to college, I started learning piano. Yeah, like you, I just have a deep love and passion for music, and I just think that it's only right that we, express that passion through this podcast, as
Absolutely.
it is about music and just talking about music and just chopping it up and having fun.
For sure. So, getting into our first topic, I don't know if you guys saw, but Bryson Tiller did a deluxe album of his debut album, right? Trap Soul.
Right.
What was your thoughts on it?
Honestly, so like I've been a fan of Bryson Tiller ever since that Trap Soul record, because I think the first record that I heard by him was Don't, or either Exchange. It was one of the two, and I was just like really blown away because it was a sound that I'd never really heard before,
Right.
But I enjoyed the deluxe album. I love the fact that he finally dropped Self-Righteous and Just Another Interlude on streaming platforms, because I remember back in high school I had to like download the songs on my phone.
Oh, really?
Through this app called it was like a messaging app, and like you could download music on it, and that's how I would listen to those tracks, because they weren't on
Really?
streaming platforms yet. And so yeah, I'm glad that he put it on Spotify and Apple Music. And then the song with The Weeknd, Rambo, that was my first time actually hearing that track, and
Yeah, same.
it was really, really dope.
Mm-hmm.
The crazy part is like that track it's been out for a while, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, the album came out 2015, right?
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
Right.
So 5 years.
Right.
Wow.
Right. The album's been out since 2015, but the track Rambo, the track Rambo with The Weeknd, I'm not sure how long that's been out, but it was a really good album. Trap Soul, definitely Bryson Tiller's best album in my opinion so far.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think he'll drop a really good album later this year, because he's supposed to drop a project
Right.
later this year. I think he's actually supposed to drop 2 projects.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be really, really interesting.
Absolutely.
What else did you want to say in terms of the Trap Soul record?
No, I just remembered like sophomore year in high school and listening to the radio, and that song Exchange came on, and I was just like, wow, this is really cool. Like, and the way that the production was, I thought it was really fantastic.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's a great album.
Yeah, and like with Exchange, like that song and Don't were both like Billboard hits. I think they both made like the top 20, top 15, top 10.
Mm-hmm.
And Exchange is funny because that sample of the song Swing My Way by KP and Envy, I think, actually I can look it up right now. But anyway, the sample, J. Cole actually sampled that song as well. And then there was like a
Really?
big like copyright issue thing talking
I'm
about
sure.
how like they basically stole too much from the song "Swing My Way," and it was just yeah. And I was right. It's "Swing My Way" by KP and Envy. It's a song from the '90s. It's a really good song, but yeah, I really enjoyed that song, "Exchange." So, what's your favorite record off the album?
I'd have to say it's just Exchange. Yeah, I mean, like, the production and everything was it just blew me away. So that's what really stuck out to me. I know that's like the basic answer because like it's all over Billboard and everything. But,
good music is good music. So
good music, it speaks for itself, right?
Right. Matter of fact, speaking of production, you and I both like to produce.
Yes.
I mean, you produce music, you DJ, and I try to do my side of production too. For sure. Do you like watch the Genius Deconstructed videos?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
I watch those all the time.
Yeah, I had to ask you that because they have a Genius Deconstructed video on the song "Exchange." I can send you the link.
Oh, please do.
Later on, but it's really, really good. It's really cool. Yeah. And like the cool part about those videos is like, it's really cool like seeing producers break down like these mega hits that everybody loves. So
absolutely, because like I remember I watched this one Genius video, and it was the production of "The Motto" by Drake, and dude, the drum beat that this producer made was so simple, and it ended up being like one of the greatest hits. I mean, the word YOLO came from that song. Remember, everyone was, it's just unbelievable how simple the drum pattern was.
It's crazy.
Good music's good music, right?
Exactly. So. And speaking of good music, to transition into our next topic, Nothing Was the Same.
Oh, yes.
That album by Drake, the 7-year anniversary was 2 days ago, September 24th.
Yeah.
Great record.
Oh, I think it's a great record, but I don't think it's Drake's greatest. In my opinion.
What do you think is his best record?
Take Care.
Take Care?
Yeah.
See, like, I can agree, but, like, I don't know. Like, with Nothing Was the Same, like, I just think that was just a great follow-up to Take Care. And then, like, with Nothing Was the Same, like, I don't know. I just felt like there were some cuts on that record that were more polished than the tracks on Take Care. And also, I feel like Take Care is just, like, overhyped. Not that it's not good, because it's a great record. I just feel like that's, like, the go-to favorite, or that's, like, the go-to classic for everybody. Because that's when Drake really found his signature sound, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing Was the Same, man. Like, if we just compare, like, that song... I mean, that album to Take Care, like, just starting with the opener. Tuscan Leather, like...
I'll give that... that's, like probably best Drake opener ever.
Yeah, like, that song still goes. Like, I listen to it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I'll probably sing or rap the lyrics every day, at least once a day. Like, that's, like, one of my anthems, to be honest.
And the beat switch in that is crazy.
The production, everything.
God, yeah.
Like, Noah 40 and all the producers that worked on that album just really went crazy. And, I mean, it shows for itself. I mean, it was, 4 quadruple platinum?
Oh, yeah.
And it sold, like, 658,000 copies in the first week. Like, that's
insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's still charting on the billboards.
It is.
Like almost all of Drake's albums, to be honest. But
for sure.
That Nothing Was the Same. Like, so, like, let's go ahead and, like, rank the songs off the album now. So, like, what are your top 3 songs off of that record?
Off of that record? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this isn't in any particular order. These are just, like, songs that, like, come to mind. I really like, obviously, Tuscan Leather, fire. I like Pound Cake with Jay-Z. That was insane.
Yeah, classic.
And I really like, for like a slow down kind of song. Actually, no. I like Wu-Tang Forever. I was going to say Connect and Wu-Tang Forever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, those both are just really great. But one song that I really liked, which wasn't on the original album, but I think is on the deluxe, or I think Drake might have put it on the Care Package album with all those other songs that he never put on, was The Motion. You know that one?
Yeah,
With
yeah.
James Blake, I think.
Yeah.
At the end, yeah, that was a great song too. I really like that one. But what about you?
I think I kind of agree. My top 3, Tuscan Leather for sure, number 1. And then number 2 would have to be Wu-Tang Forever. Like, I never really realized how much I love that track.
It's your
Right.
It's
like,
so catchy. It
that
really is.
and then the fact that he sampled Wu-Tang first off.
Oh yeah.
That sample, and then just the vibe and the energy, the beat is just very laid back, chill. Like,
absolutely.
I love listening to that record driving. Honestly,
it is a good record to drive.
Yeah,
but the reason why I think like Take Care just takes over Nothing Was the Same by a little bit is I just feel like it's the first time the world ever learned about the Toronto hip hop scene.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got the Weeknd like on the song Crew Love.
Yeah.
And then he's got some other great artists there too. Like I think Andre 3000 was on it. Kendrick Lamar was there before.
Yeah.
Rick Ross. He's got a bunch of other great artists and everything. And I think some of the tracks are really well produced. Like I love the song Cameras.
Yeah.
That's a great song. Headlines. Like I feel like when most people think of Take Care, they think it's like the OG Simp album. But I mean, it's got some bangers like Headlines,
The Motto,
Underground Kings, The Motto.
Oh yeah, Underground Kings for sure. Lord Knows.
Lord
Rick
Knows.
Ross, like
but then it's got the OG Sim tracks like
Marvin's Room.
Everyone knows
Doing
that
It
one.
Wrong.
Doing It Wrong. I really like Look What You've Done and like Take a Shot from me. Like I mean, if I'm feeling like a simp, I'm throwing that album on. I mean, but I still love that album. But like Nothing Was the Same. Don't get me wrong. I think it's still a great album as well. It's up there. Don't worry.
I think both are definitely top 3. Oh, for sure. Like in Drake's catalog, they're both top 3
easily.
And like we didn't really talk about it this much, but if you're reading this, is too late. Like that's low key an underrated project because it's not an album. It's a mixtape.
And he released it out of nowhere.
Yeah, and it was a surprise project, and like that project doesn't get enough credit. I think. Like first off, let's start with the bangers on it. Like Know Yourself, Energy,
Know Yourself,
Legend.
Oh my gosh.
Like
Star 67.
Yes, that's definitely like that's one of my favorite tracks.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like I literally every time I go to the gym, I actually listen to the album. I don't listen to any other songs. Like I listen to them in order. Like I listen to Legend and then like Energy. And then I love 10 Bands.
Oh yeah. Like, it's a no skip record to be honest.
No skips. And
like I don't know, man. Like just with a record like that, like because like we didn't expect it, and like because like there were just so many great tracks on it, it's like dang, like he might as well should have released it as an album, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That like sometimes I think that If You're Reading This Is Too Late is Drake's best project.
Yeah, I think that's like at his peak.
Like if I had to like really think which one is better, Nothing Was the Same, If You're Reading This Is Too Late, or Take Care, it just depends on how I'm feeling that day. Like some days I'll put Nothing Was the Same, but then I go back and listen to If You're Reading This Is Too Late, and I was like, nah, this is the one right here.
It always fluctuates, man. It just depends on your mood. I can agree with you on that one, man. For sure. But all great projects.
Yeah.
And if you guys haven't listened to them, we'll probably make a playlist with some of our favorites that we've been talking about if you haven't listened.
For sure.
And we'll post on the Instagram so you guys can check out the songs that we've been talking about.
And speaking of the Instagram, our Instagram handle is Just Music Podcast. So that's JUS Music and then podcast on Instagram. Easy to remember. Yes. Really cool. Aesthetically, everything. And our Instagram page has been doing really well. A lot of people like...
Yeah, shout out to Jailan for all the content.
Yeah, I really love the engagement from everybody. It's great. You guys are really supporting the Instagram page. Keep doing that. It's great. But I know we have another topic, but I kind of want to talk about Drake a little bit more because
this is
good.
This is good, man. I love Drake. Like, dude, oh my gosh, one of my favorite concerts was the Summer 16 tour 4 years ago.
Talk about that.
Yeah. Let me tell you. Okay, first of all, like I spent $500 for 2 seats because I was like, listen, it's Drake. He's coming to town. I'm from Boston, so I saw him at the Garden, and it was like he opened up. Well, no, actually, who opened up was Roy Woods. Have you ever listened to Roy Woods? He's an OVO artist. Yeah. That was before like he was kind of big or whatever, but like he opened up and it was great and everything. And then Division, another OVO artist, opened up too. But Drake came out with that song Summer 16, and he's like looking for a vet. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I should like send you some videos and like we could post on Instagram. But it was the greatest. Probably one of my favorite concerts of all time because like I'm a huge Drake fan, so like listening to all those songs and everything and seeing them performed live is just crazy. And then Future came on, and then Future did his whole set, and he was throwing
that what a time to be alive.
Yeah, they were doing those tracks together, and oh my, it was just insane. Like I can't even describe. It was unbelievable. And then like Drake was doing his rendition, and then it just kind of ended, but it was a fantastic concert. Yeah. Highly recommend. If you have the chance to see Drake or Future, do it. I mean, I was just lucky to see them both at the same time, but highly recommend.
It's crazy because, like, Drake has been around for, like, quite some time now, and, like, he's still at the top of his game. It's like...
Oh, yeah.
Like, when is his reign going to be over? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I think of Drake as? I think of Drake in the reigning the 2010s, kind of like Kanye in the 2000s.
Yeah. See, like...
To an extent.
I can agree. But, like, I mean, since we're talking about Kanye, like... I feel like I can put Kanye, like, at the top of the 2010s as well. Because, like...
Yeah.
He released a lot of great music.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Because,
I mean, too.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was, like, 2010. So,
right.
Yeah,
right.
That's, like, a masterpiece.
And, like, The Life of Pablo... I don't think that album gets enough credit. We'll have to talk about that. We'll have to talk about that in a future episode.
Yeah, that's a whole episode of Kanye, yeah.
The Ye album is actually really... It's really good. I like the Ye album. There's some pretty good cuts on there. And I'm not really a big fan of Jesus is King, so, I mean... but, yeah, I think Drake and Kanye definitely... Oh, and Kendrick Lamar. I mean... Come on, we can't talk about the 2010s and
without
like,
Kendrick
best
Lamar.
Rappers
Yeah.
Without Kendrick Lamar
and
J. Cole.
Yeah, it just looked like Kendrick Lamar not releasing anything in 3 years. I've kind of forgotten about him.
But it's always like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Him.
That's true. Like if you don't see Kendrick Lamar for a couple of years, then you know he's working on some insane project.
But like kind of like getting back to Drake, like, do you think that he is Artist of the Year right now, or like are you trying to wait and see for when he drops another album?
That's a good question. I mean, I think we'd have to see and wait on the latest album he'll drop.
Certified Lover Boy.
I hate that title. I hate that title. Like, this man is like 33 and he's still calling
Drake's
himself
up
a boy.
there. He's up there.
Like, he has his own kid, like, and he's like calling him. Oh, I just don't like it. But I mean, we'll have to see what that album brings us.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think like who I would consider Artist of the Year. In my opinion, quite frankly, I think it's The Weeknd.
I agree.
I mean, After Hours, probably the best album of 2020. Crazy good. And I mean, his album is just the only one that really stuck out to me.
Yeah, like so now, like, transitioning from Drake to The Weeknd, because this is kind of where I wanted it to go, because I knew you were going to say The Weeknd.
Yeah.
But, like...
Damn, you know me too well.
But, yeah, like, The Weeknd... 2020 has just been a great year for him. Like, first off, the After Hours record, like you said, crazy good record, with production credits from Metro Boomin.
Yeah.
His longtime collaborator... I can't think of his name right now. I have to look it up. But he worked with him on the My Dear Melancholy record.
Oh, right.
And also Abel Tesfaye with production credits. Like he
produces his own.
Yeah,
stuff
he's starting to produce music of his own as well.
Yeah. Sure.
But that album, man, just so great, so good.
What are your favorite songs off that album?
Oh, well, first, okay, so Illangelo, that was his name. That's like
Okay.
that's a producer that he's worked with a lot,
Right.
and there was like Max Martin, just a whole bunch of other great producers on that record. But my favorite tracks, like my top 3, like top 5, or
Top 3. Let's see.
Top
Let's see what the
3?
Top 3 are. Yeah.
number 1 is definitely the title track, After Hours.
Okay.
Just that track, like the production, the songwriting, the vocal performance, everything about it was just awesome, amazing. Number 2, probably Snow Child.
Okay.
I really liked that song. I loved the raw energy of it. I loved the songwriting and the beat too.
Right.
Like that song and Escape from LA, I can see Drake on both of those records. And then my third favorite track, see, there's so many great tracks.
Tough.
So
It's
I'd
tough.
probably pick the song Too Late. It's like the second track.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love that song.
That song is really dope. And like, I have the CD, so like when I'm listening to it in my car, I roll down my
Different
windows
vibe.
and I I open my sunroof and the speakers just kick, like the bass.
Oh my gosh.
It's
You're
awesome.
getting a back massage.
Right. But those were my top 3: After Hours, Snow Child, and Too Late. But some honorable mentions would definitely be Alone Again, the intro track. In Your Eyes is really dope. It's a really nice pop
Super
record.
80s vibe.
Yeah,
to
most
that
definitely.
one.
Definitely got like a Michael Jackson feel to it.
Almost
and,
definitely.
The very last track, the outro, I cannot think of it for the life of me. But Bleed Out?
Bleed Out?
I think that's the name of it.
Yeah, I think you're right. That sounds
Let me look it up.
right. But I would say my favorite tracks from that album,
That's the name of it, yeah. Until I Bleed Out,
Until
yeah.
I Bleed Out, yeah. I really like Too Late. I think that's a great record. I also love Save Your Tears.
Yeah, that was a dope one.
It's a nice one.
Yeah, definitely got like a rock vibe, like a little
Right.
grunge rock.
Save
Yeah.
your tears for
Yeah.
Yeah, also super catchy. And then I'm trying to think what else I liked. But yeah, After Hours, I just like the title track too. I thought that was really great.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it's album of the year,
Yeah.
2020.
And then, to just talk a little bit more about The Weeknd, like, for him to be such a private and secluded and mysterious guy, but to be so popular and big is just really weird, because like nowadays,
Right.
so many artists, I don't want to say are like very like open with their lives, but they engage with their fans a lot.
yeah,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
know what's
Whether it's
going on with
right,
them.
whether it's through Instagram Live or the news talking about them, or them making TikTok
Yeah,
videos.
that's a valid point.
Right, but The Weeknd, it's just different for him. Like he doesn't talk, he doesn't do interviews, he doesn't do any of that. He just drops music,
He just-
performs,
Exactly.
and
I don't think I've ever seen a picture of him smiling.
actually go look at the Rolling Stone magazine. He's smiling.
I swear, like every picture I see of The Weeknd, like I barely see him smiling.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's just because I mean I was just gonna say like add to that mysterious. But I'll have to check that Rolling Stone picture out. Yeah.
It's really good actually. It just dropped. You see the Rolling Stone or Time magazine? It's one of the two. He
Right.
did a shoot for both of them, but
Yeah.
he's smiling. I was like, this is a lucky photo.
Yeah, this is rare photo, rare find.
But yeah, The Weeknd, and like it works for him to be mysterious, because
I can see that.
I couldn't imagine him being this very outspoken, like so like engaged with his fans in like in terms of they know about his everyday life. And I just couldn't see him like that. Like that's just not his aesthetic. That's not his persona.
I feel like if he was to be like that, he'd be a whole different. He'd be making all different music.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like as dark and mysterious, and it wouldn't have the same effect as if he was like engaged with his fans.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And then like when I think about like his persona and like how mysterious he is, I think about Prince, because that's how Prince was. You didn't know about his life unless you just listen to his music. And it's like that with The Weeknd, which I think is just really cool. But
Right.
yeah, The Weeknd, he's my artist of the year for 2020, and definitely After Hours is my album of the year.
Yeah.
Even though the year's not over yet, I mean, Drake's still got to
knows?
drop his record, but
Who knows? And Kanye with Donda, who knows when that's gonna
yeah,
drop.
whenever that drops,
Yeah,
I mean,
who knows? But I just want to go back, talking about Rolling Stone. I don't know if you guys saw, but Rolling Stone listed off their version of the greatest hip hop album of all time, and it was the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and they labeled that as the greatest hip hop album of all time. So I was just kind of curious, Jalen, what your thoughts were on that.
yeah, I saw that floating around. I respect the choice because I think Lauryn Hill is a great artist,
Most definitely.
great rapper. Like, she's definitely one of the greatest rappers ever, especially for her career to be so short and for it to have, you know, such little evidence to go off of. But the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill album is just really, really good.
Right.
But would I consider it the greatest rap album or the best rap album ever? Probably not. To be honest, I haven't even listened to enough rap albums to really say what is the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many.
Yeah, that's true. All right, like, just off the top of your head, if you were just someone to ask you, like, oh, what's the greatest rap album of all time? What would you say?
And I'll say that in my lifetime,
or just
in my lifetime,
any lifetime. That's, I know, it's like very open ended.
Yeah, because like I said, like, there's so many great records, and then there's so many records that I still have to listen to. But like, the greatest rap album that I've ever listened to in my lifetime would have to be "To Pimp a Butterfly" by Kendrick Lamar. Like, just the cohesiveness, the message, the production, the performances, the guest features,
the story.
Yeah, the story, like, everything about that album just was different. Like, it was different from every album that came out back in 2015. It was definitely Kendrick Lamar's most bold and experimental record, and it's definitely up there with like one of the greatest albums of our generation for sure, and definitely up there for, it's in contention for best rap album ever. Like, it was just that good. And I'm also a big Kendrick Lamar fan, so maybe I sound a little biased, but yeah, I really like "To Pimp a Butterfly." That would be my choice.
That'd be your choice?
Yeah. What about you?
All right. I would say, all right, if the question was greatest rap album of my lifetime, like, that I was alive for, I would say My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. But "To Pimp a Butterfly," that's a close second for me. But for me, the Kanye album, I just love the production. As someone that likes to produce music, and just like seeing how Kanye produced that whole record was just insane. I mean, the use of guitar samples on that record was insane. Like, he like blended rock and hip hop and everything. Like, you could hear it, "Devil in a New Dress," and like, really interesting. I watched the video on the track "Runaway" that he made, and the last part of the song, the last, I think, 3 minutes, where Kanye's voice is all muffled up. Supposedly, what he did was he recorded himself humming and singing into like a guitar distorter microphone.
Yeah.
And that way he got that crazy, like, so it sounded like him humming sounded like electric guitar chords, which is just crazy. Like, you would think on paper that it wouldn't work. Like, it sounds like a stupid idea, but it like works in the song.
Talking about the
yeah, and apparently where he says, like, in the beginning, like, first words, he's like, "No one understands me," which really is, I mean, looking at Kanye, like, that makes so much sense.
Right.
But, that's okay. So that'd be like of our lifetime. I would say that album, "My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy." But in my opinion, like, greatest rap album of all time, that's such a tough question.
Right. Like, how do you answer that? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many.
if I had to throw my opinion out there, I think it'd be Illmatic.
Illmatic by Nas. That's not a bad choice.
That'd be my choice. I mean, it's got some great classics like "The World Is Yours,"
Oh yeah,
"Taken in Blood," like a bunch of other songs. But I haven't listened to that album in a minute. But I just remember like when I think of rap, like I just feel like I think of Nas. Like the way he like raps in his voice, just it sounds so nice and it just flows really well together. But I would say that a close second for that one is "Ready to Die," the Notorious B.I.G. I like Biggie.
All legends, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, yeah, the real kings of New York. But yeah, I mean, that'd be my opinion.
Those are great choices. I'm gonna throw some out there. I think definitely gotta give love to Outkast for like AT Aliens.
Oh yeah,
Aquemini, AT Aliens, and the Speaker Box, Love Below record. Like all of those, I think are up there in terms of greatest rap albums ever.
Yeah, Outkast, they're really great artists.
Andre 3000, Big Boy, just going back and listening to their music is just phenomenal. Like it's amazing. I think some other albums to consider for greatest rap album ever. Eminem's Marshall Mathers LP.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
Eminem.
Yeah, like the Slim Shady persona, the Dr. Dre production, just
those combinations.
Just
really helped.
Right. And then I think to go back to Kendrick Lamar, I mean, Good Kid, Mad City was really dope too.
Yeah,
like
Pyros and Crips,
yeah, like
all got along.
All the track, like Don't Kill My Vibe, Poetic Justice, like
and
then like
the Art of Peer Pressure.
Yeah, like that's what I was about to say. Like the story on that album.
Kendrick's a great storyteller.
Yeah,
great storyteller.
Like I think that album deserves some consideration as well.
Yeah,
but there's so many, man. There's so many great rap albums. It's really hard to narrow it down to just one.
Yeah.
Because all the eras are different. You know, every artist is different. But
right, and it's like what criteria? Because everyone's criteria for anything like great album is so different. You know what I mean? So it's like how do you compare? You know, but
and I guess to get into our last topic, because you kind of touched on it, genres. Like, how do you music nowadays? You can't really put a genre on the music. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really put it in a box. You can't really name it, label it.
I definitely could see genres just kind of being not as strict, but being more fluid or whatever. Like, prime example of, genre, Igor, Tyler the Creator, it won, was it MTV Best Rap Album or something? Or no, it won a Grammy.
It won a Grammy. Grammy
for Best Rap Album. But it doesn't make sense because if you listen to the album front to back, it's not a rap album at all.
Yeah.
It's
just
like it's experimental,
right.
And it's got funk and it's got
neo soul, R&B. There's definitely hip hop in it, but
yeah, there are some, but it's not the prominent feature.
Right. It's like this is how I think about it. Like you, I think genres are going to just fade out. I don't think genres will really exist. I think good music is just going to be good music. Like,
yeah, I could see that.
Because like you said, the Tyler Creator record, Igor, that was a really good record. Like, really freaking good. Like, it's I think as time passes, we said this on our Instagram page too, for one of the Just Throwback Thursdays, that this album will become a classic. Like, that was a really good record. And the fact that he produced it all by himself, like that's insane.
That's like Kanye type.
Yeah. Kanye is one of his biggest influences. So
of course.
And then like other albums that don't really have a genre, that you can really attach to it. I think what's one? I think definitely.
I was gonna throw an album out there for you. If
Go
you
ahead.
can think of one. Stoney, Post Malone.
Post Malone. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like, I mean, I know everyone's opinion on Post Malone's different, but I mean, that debut album, Stoney, like, when I listened to it, I was just like, is this really hip-hop? Like, because there are some tracks where, you know, he's rapping and whatnot. Then there are tracks where it's, like, a mix of country and grunge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the track Go Flex, and then you got, like, White Iverson, obviously, favorite off the album. And then there's a song called Feeling Whitney where he's just doing a guitar solo and everything. So it's just like there's so many different elements that it's like what genre does it really fit in most or whatever.
Right.
But like that's why I was thinking like genres it's just not really going to be a thing 10, 20 years down the line.
I agree.
What album were you thinking?
I think the Flower Boy record too by Tyler the Creator.
Oh yeah, Flower
Just
Boy.
to go back to Tyler the Creator.
Yeah, I like that.
Another good record. Definitely My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye. Like that's more than just hip hop. Like that's just a really good record. There was another album that I was thinking about. I just cannot. Oh, Because the Internet by Childish Gambino.
Oh, yeah.
And shout out to Donald Glover as well. It was his birthday yesterday, but
happy birthday, Donald Glover.
Because the Internet, like, that album does not get enough credit, in my opinion. Like, that was
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it's a great album.
Great record. And it's not just a rap album. It's just...
No, it's not.
It's like a cinematic album, to be honest, because there's a whole story attached to it.
Yeah, I could see that. For sure.
Yeah. And there's so many, man. I think, I feel like if you ask a lot of artists nowadays, and I'll just use some for example, like just talking about jazz musicians, like jazz artists, like back in the '60s, like Miles Davis, John Coltrane, like those guys didn't consider their music jazz music; they just considered it music,
Right.
But you just label it because you got to have like a product to sell. People got to know. People want to be able to, categorize, differentiate between what it is that they're listening to.
I could see that for sure.
But I think the problem with that is you can sometimes put an artist in a box, and then when that artist decides to step out of that box or change up their sound,
they get criticized.
Yeah, they get criticized
so badly.
And I think, just that idea of genres will just fade out for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For sure.
Yeah.
But you got anything else you want to add?
I think that's it. We talked about a lot today.
Yeah, we really did.
We did intros. We talked about Trap Soul by Bryson Tiller. Go
Drake.
Check that out if you haven't. Talked about Drake.
Yeah,
for a
listen
good
to
minute.
both those albums and you let us know in the comments.
Nothing Was the Same and
which
Take
one's
Care.
better. I think they're both great, but I just feel like Take Care is better. That's just my like I said, everyone's different and it depends on the mood you're in.
Right. Yeah, for sure. We talked about Drake. We talked about The Weeknd.
Yeah.
Talked about
a little bit of Kanye.
Kendrick. We just talked about greatest rap albums.
Yeah.
We talked about genres. That's a lot to get into. But
absolutely. But yeah, I think that'll do it. And we really appreciate you guys taking the time listening. Please follow us on Instagram at Just Music Podcast. And we really appreciate it. We really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you. We're finally got the first episode out to you guys. We're really excited. We're excited for this season. Definitely more episodes going to come soon.
Absolutely. And if there's any topic that you want to hear us talk about, any musician, just please let us know. Slide in our DMs, and we'll be sure to
DM
talk
us
about it.
At Just Music Podcast on Instagram. JUS Music Podcast. We're going to be around. But until then, you guys be cool. Stay wavy.
Yeah. Take it easy.
All right.
Bye.